Hello, friendos, and welcome to the G-Spot podcast, where we talk about how to suck less at life and at relationships. Here with us today, we have Big D. Yes, you heard that right. Big D.
Thank you.
Yes, would you like to say hello to the people?
Hello, people.
So today we are on the topic of relationships. I do want to talk about relationships and life topics with this podcast, but today specifically I wanted to go over some scenarios I actually came across on Reddit recently and give you some context, some backstory, and just kind of give our opinion on that. So we will be doing that. So chill out, grab your coffee, and let's get started.
And so I'm here because I'm an expert at this, and I've been invited to talk about these topics.
So, Big D, would you care to introduce yourself at this point? Feel free.
My name is Big D. They call me Big D because my name is first name David, and Big because of my huge, girthy personality.
That is beautiful. I don't think I've ever heard something so beautiful in my life. I've never seen such a beautiful person in my life either.
Yes, thank you. I'm a poet.
Yes, poet, and didn't know it. Or you did know it, actually. So, all right. So let's get started with that amazing introduction. It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Thank you. No, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Anytime. The first topic I want to talk about is lack of self-care with your significant other and going through a boring period, a make or break situation. So that's the general topic. Just let me give a little background scenario on this Redditor. So boyfriend has let himself go, doesn't groom, and has gained weight while studying for exams. He also lacks discipline and vents about it, which bugs me. Started work at a new place and met new guys. One who is the opposite of my boyfriend's bad qualities made a move on me. So basically she's saying her boyfriend's being, he's let himself go in a way. He's gained weight, he looks like crap, and she moved to a new workplace, and she's like, hey, these dudes are, like, sexy. And my man over here is being not sexy at home. And she's being intrigued, and, like, she's in a new environment, so that's, like, stimulating her. Wrong word to use, but, like, it's stimulating her, like, mentally. So that later she could be stimulated physically
Wait, is she
by these
sexy?
new men. I'm gonna assume that this girl is not that sexy. I don't know why I have that opinion, but it's just giving me not that sexy sort of vibe. However, let me get to the rest.
Depending on who's looking at her. It's in the eye. Sexiness is in the eye of the beholder.
Yes, and we love that wisdom today. Wisdom Wednesday, because it's Wednesday. It's not Wednesday, but this will be posted on Wednesday.
Okay. No, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. So, so that's where we are with this, in her scenario. And someone made a move on her, and she's like, oh my God, like, I actually love this attention. This guy's hot. It's, I'm in this, he looks more determined than the guy I have at home, my boyfriend at home. So, and she says, unfortunately, I can't talk to my boyfriend about this without ruining his morale. He has his exam soon. I don't want to cause him any distractions. And I also feel this will totally devastate him, which, in my opinion, it will, of course. Do you have any advice? And Big D, I would just love your input on this a little bit first. And,
Does it say how long they've been together?
I don't recall if it mentioned how long they were together. I think, I think it was about more than a year.
Okay.
Maybe less than 2 years, but around that. Year and a half, maybe.
Okay, so when you're in a relationship, there's going to be those ups and downs.
Agreed.
Sometimes the down it's pretty far down.
The down is pretty far down.
It's pretty far down. It's like lower than hell, I swear. And sometimes people have a hard time getting out of that.
That's true.
Especially with the exams, but
it's true. The exams part kind of got me. It's like, well, he's studying for exams. He's still in school. You already moved on to an internship. I'm not saying she's completely wrong in this situation. He definitely has a part in this where, maybe he needs to be paying more attention, and it's from her perspective, and I can understand this. She feels like she's not being paid attention to. He's ignoring her because he's working on school and exams. And it's like, why am I even in your life if you're not going to care about how you look? It's like the spark has kind of gone, it feels like, from the situation. And it's, you know, I can be in her shoes at the same time and be like, you know what? I mean, he's not, is this how it's going to be for the rest of my life? Mm-hmm. Like, you question it. If you're actually going to be with this person for years, you're like, wait a second, is this person ever going to change? Is he just a slob? Or is he just going through a bad time? And, you know, he's being boring. Our relationship's boring. Is it going to stay this way? The thing is, the communication clearly is not there. Mm-hmm. She's over here mentioning the situation, but he doesn't know jack shit.
No, yeah.
About how she feels.
He doesn't even know, that any of this is even going on. He probably feels fine. Like, he's like, oh, something's changed? I don't know. You know, I'm very oblivious, and I would definitely be like, what? This came out of nowhere. I thought it was going
I thought it was going fantastic. What the hell? You're hitting on some guy now at the hospital. Mm-hmm. Like, and she works in a hospital. She's like a nurse or something.
That's where it always happens.
Yeah, always. No, but it's just, it seems so clear to me that their communication's already off. I don't see the relationship going, like, more than 2 years at this rate, because she's not even able to talk to him about these things. Mm-hmm. Maybe she hasn't mustered up the courage. She needs time, maybe. Mm-hmm. But literally, he doesn't know what's going on. Without him knowing what's going on, how are they going to fix the situation? He can change. I think a dude can change if he realizes, like, oh shit, you're right. I look like crap. Mm-hmm. And not take it offensively, you know? Like, if she says it respectfully. And I don't know, like, if I were to say that to someone in a respectful manner, I would hope they would understand. It's a relationship is two parts. It's not just one person can totally lose interest and it's fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, the other person's going to be pissed off. Mm-hmm. So I think they both need to work at it and, like, communicate. I do not think she's right with, like, hitting on other guys when he doesn't even know what's happening. Was she hitting on him,
or did she just realize
mentally? I think mentally she's cheating on him, basically. Oh. She's like, oh, like, these guys are sexy. Like, she's already picturing herself outside of the relationship. Mm-hmm. And again, this is all happening in her head, and he has no idea what's going on, which is disrespectful to him. It'd be a different situation if he had said, no, like, I'm not going to care about myself, like, you're not in those specific terms, but no, like, I'm being a slob right now because I want to, and you can't tell me what to do sort of attitude. Mm-hmm. That would be a very different situation, I feel like. The fact that he doesn't know make her seem like the shady one. And someone in this situation, I think, it would be the same. Whether the guy's doing it or the girl, it's, it all goes back to communication. Mm-hmm. Because, again, when you're clueless about something and you're totally oblivious, how the hell are you going to fix it? How the hell would you? And how would you fix it?
Look, Big D? I'm totally, I can't understand the school thing, you know, the studying for school. Like, I don't know, if I didn't hear a lot of people's, like, it takes up their whole life.
That's true. I remember I was really stressed when I was in school.
Yeah, see, I'm the exact opposite. I was never a school person, so studying was like, what do you mean? Study for what?
Study for who? What the?
Yeah. So I always had time, you know, to focus on other things because I felt like school wasn't the biggest issue for me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, go on.
No, wait. You go ahead. I'm still thinking here.
So, like, I feel like he is actually trying really hard at his studies, but she's not really giving him that respect of, hey, you know, you do need your time. You are literally going to lose your mind for a little bit. If you're studying for exams all the time, you're in school, you're trying to achieve something, you're going to go a little bit crazy. And I think she needs to understand that, and she also needs to tell him, obviously, what's happening. Because then, I mean, nothing's gonna change. It's gonna go to hell. I mean, this relationship's gonna be over, like, in 2 seconds.
Yeah, instead of asking Reddit, they should be asking
each other.
Yeah, exactly. They should be talking to each other.
Yeah.
I see gained weight, that's whatever, like,
Gain
it's
weight,
gonna
yeah.
happen. Like, you got your whole life to lose it.
Yes.
But the doesn't
if
groom
he wants
part,
to, yeah.
Grooming's not gonna take that much time. You got plenty of time to groom.
Like, literally, he can cut his hair the next day. If he really wanted to, and he agreed, like, you know what, you're right, I can take better care of myself, because now, at that point, he would know what's happening. He can be like, you know what, yeah, I'm going to schedule a freaking appointment tomorrow. Like, I need to cut my hair, and I'm going to start eating a little bit healthier. Like, it'll make me feel better, too. If he's at that level of maturity, he would understand.
What if she let herself go? And he, like, she hasn't told the whole story here, and he's like, oh, she doesn't care, so I guess it's cool for me to not care.
Right?
I don't know.
Like,
no,
what?
I doubt it, but
No, but really, like, what if she did? What if she has? And he hasn't said anything either.
This already, there's, like, I guess red flags here. It's, like...
Big red flags.
I don't know if this is, like, the first big down that they've had in their relationship, and, like, she's not handling it well.
Like, it's the first, like, whoa.
Yeah, if that's the case, then it's,
her.
like... just split up.
I know, just like take a break. If you're already like looking at people and you want to have sex with these people, like literally just want to like, wow, you want to just
don't do
bang
that to
all
someone.
The people in the office or the hospital. Like, dude, just come on. Like, you're already at that point where you're mentally gone from this other person.
And also at this stage in life, it's like you're still working on yourself, on your career and stuff.
It's true.
Instead of jumping from one person to the next person, just if you need to take a break and work on yourself more, and then maybe you realize you had something special, or maybe not. Maybe it's time to move on.
It's true. Like, take a break. Just give it some time to think. And also, it's not just about his appearance, like self-care. Maybe he's being boring because he's busy, whatever. But is he a good person? Like, what about his character? I don't... If nothing's wrong with his character and he's technically just kind of coasting, maybe trying to survive college, and letting himself go because of that, obviously fine. If he's actually a good person, he deserves another chance. Like, in my opinion, he deserves another chance. She needs to talk and get it out in the open, because and again, if she's already like mentally gone, she's mentally gone. Like, just leave the person instead of going and accidentally cheating on this person and hurting them and scarring them for life. Just be like, bye.
And I'm sure that would do something to that person as well. Even not just the person that they cheated on, but like if you cheat on someone, I'm sure that's gonna mess you up.
Oh yeah, you
like,
feel assuming you're like a decent-ish person. You're not that decent if you cheated, to be honest. But if you have like self-awareness, you'd be like, also just feeling guilty. You'd feel guilty for what you did, and maybe your self-confidence would lower, your worth would lower as well. So just don't get it to that point. And if anyone out there is in this situation, my advice is literally to communicate with your significant other. You need to talk to them. Making a post on Reddit, fine for the, if the first few days that you're feeling like this and you're not ready to talk about it, that's fine. But you need to go face to face with your partner and be like, you know what? And respectfully, always respectfully. You need to respect them, assuming, they can just handle these words. And if they can't handle these words, you're probably not with someone that you should be with. But,
it's...
be as clear as possible with them and open. And if they do not understand where you're coming from, then it's time to distance yourself. And like I said, take a break. Because you know how you're feeling at the office and the hospital. You're getting temptations. That's not necessarily normal for someone in a healthy, happy relationship. And yeah, it's all about communication, honestly. What were you gonna say?
Oh, this is, it's on topic, but it's I've been watching a lot of Forensic Files.
Oh yeah.
And it's so weird how it's probably easier to divorce someone and go with your lover.
Yes.
But in these shows, it's always like they killed their significant other so that way they can be with
my god.
So,
yes.
sometimes it's hard for people to break up with each other. Please don't kill your significant other.
Please do not resort to murder.
I believe it's easier to
God.
break their heart than to kill them in cold blood.
Absolutely. Literally insanity. And I'm pretty sure in a couple of episodes I want to talk about, like, red flags with people, females and males. I mean, anyone out there, like, to recognize red flags is, like, number one. If you're going into a relationship, you need to learn how to recognize these things before you trap yourself accidentally and, like, marry someone that's literally a psycho. Let's not do that. So.
Oh, and the other thing, the person that they're seeing at work, I mean, that's just, like, superficial. That's what they're seeing at work. They don't know what they're like, you know. I mean,
they're getting the hots.
Yeah, exactly.
they're not actually looking on the inside of that person. Is this person an actual
I mean, like, once you start
me?
hanging out with them, you're like, wait, we don't like anything of the same anything. I mean, we just work at the same place.
Yeah, which is actually kind of like, in my opinion, working at the same place where your significant other is at, it's probably really common, right? Yeah. But it would be weird for me. Just like, you see him at work and you see him at home. You see him at work, you see him at home. Like, there's no break in between, and
I don't know, that's pretty cool.
It's cool. No, it
could be cool. If
cool.
you're not just at an office job, just filing papers, and you're like, hey, what's going on?
It depends on the job, I think. Like, if you're interacting with each other and, like, you're able to just, like, be chill and not highly, like, in a stressful situation or something, it's probably going to be better. But still, for me, I think it'd be, I guess, it's more of, like, an office or a hospital situation. You're kind of...
Imagine you're on National Geographic, you're, like, the host, and then your significant other is behind the camera following you, and you're just traveling around the world together. That's pretty sick.
That's pretty sick.
That's some good work.
It is good work, and I agree with that, because that's adventurous. Like, you're having fun together. If it's, like, a boring-ass job, or you hate where you work, and you don't want to see your significant other really, like, I don't know. It's just enough stress. I'm just saying, it's enough stress to be at that sort of job than to also
it's because
feel like you have to be in a good mood all the time around your significant other, maybe.
It's because you got Hot Johnny in the office that you don't want him to know about.
Oh, no, Mr. Hot Johnny.
Yeah, that's
Spicy Johnny. Yeah, it's definitely those temptations, and I know they're coming from a place of, well, these people are thriving in their job. My boyfriend is not, but he's thriving in his own way. He's studying. He's taking exams. He's trying to get somewhere, too. But yeah, so that was kind of the first topic I wanted to talk about, because I think it's important, and I feel like this is a really common thing. It's really common to maybe, like, overthink these things to a point where you're already, like, mentally somewhere else, and you haven't even spoken to this person yet. You can take yourself mentally so far away from your actual situation, and that can be, like, dangerous in some points. But yeah, so let's move on to the next topic. This Redditor mentions, and this kind of ties into the first topic of, like, a bit. The other one was, like, more of letting go and stuff, and gaining weight and seeming not to care. This Redditor mentions that her boyfriend comes off as rude to people and doesn't realize it, which is weird already, to be honest. So he's a bit worried now that he might be doing this at his job. So he doesn't have self-awareness, from what I'm already reading. He does not have self-awareness, which is a little bit scary. Back to your forensic files. Yeah. I don't think that not having self-awareness is, like, good. I already suspected, because not only can he come off as rude, he has a strong personality. At work, he feels like everyone is against him, and he felt the same way at his old job. That's already screaming to me, like, a little bit crazy. Like, this person's a little bit crazy. He's not self-aware. He didn't get called back to work at that old job. He's currently laid off. So this is affecting his social situation and his whole life. His attitude is that bad, and his rudeness is that bad, where he literally got fired from his job. And girl, I don't... From what I can say, is this man seeming as he's definitely not self-aware as how he's treating people. Who knows? The next day could be, oops, I killed someone. But I didn't know. I didn't know I was being that mean. I had an axe next to me, and I was mad. Like, this kind of screams Psycho Forensic Files situation for me.
I feel like, we all have that, well, not all, but a lot of us had that sarcastic humor where it just took over us, and we were just sarcastic everywhere. And we're like, oh yeah, for us it's super easy to point out sarcasm, but a lot of other people are very oblivious to it, and they're like, man,
I mean, I
don't get this. Like,
I see your point about the sarcasm thing. But this person doesn't seem to be sarcastic. He seems to be just rude to where he got fired. People don't want to be around him, or he feels that people hate him, which is also he's struggling mentally as well. Yeah,
that's like maybe past
everyone's
things,
out to get me.
Yeah.
It could be past trauma, for sure.
That's pretty common, I think.
But look at, she also says he's a good guy. Good guy. I mean, I don't really know how good of a guy he is.
Maybe he's not rude to her.
But she says, and I know he doesn't mean to be rude. But I think she had mentioned that he had come off, or she's scared of him. And if you're scared of your significant other, like, please leave. No, but if you want to work through it, I mean, go to counseling. Like, when he's rude and gets a rude response back, he's genuinely shocked. So he seems narcissistic, maybe?
No.
Or, well, like he's, or just self-centered in a way. But he doesn't realize, he's not self-aware. Because, look, he's rude, and when he gets a rude response back, he's genuinely shocked. He will not, like, what that means to me. Oh, I can be a bitch to you, but if you're a bitch to me back, oh no, that's not going to work. Like, how does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. He's probably either dealing with past traumas, but the self-awareness thing, I don't know. That's a little sketchy, and honestly, I'd be afraid of him too.
I need like an example of what his rudeness is like, because I can't really judge it by just them saying he's rude.
True, but if you're rude enough to where you get laid off from your job, and maybe you don't have any friends even, I mean, maybe you really are an asshole. Like, that's not just rude. That's not just rude. That's like you being an actual asshole.
Hey, but... Well, you did say she was scared to be with him. I was going to say props to her for being there for him.
Well,
at least,
in a way she is. It's like any suggestions on how to help him. She's still having his best interest in mind.
Like, the first girl with the other guy.
I know, she's like, oh, now he's let himself go. He's gaining weight. Like, I just need to... I don't know. These other guys are hot. He's not anymore. Like, I don't know. It's a little sketchy. This girl, she seems to have his best interest at heart, right? But at the same time, I don't know how much you can do for someone who is that unaware of how they're acting around people. And the scary part for me, and would be a red flag for me, is that he doesn't think he deserves to be an asshole to him, but he can be an asshole to other people.
I don't think he thinks he can be an asshole to people because he doesn't know he's being an asshole to people.
I still think this is going further than sarcasm, though. Because if you're being sarcastic, but you're around someone who doesn't understand sarcasm, you're never going to be sarcastic to that person ever again. I mean... That's how I am.
I feel like I've met people that I've worked with who are like, man, that guy's kind of a dick. But it's like, that's just who that guy is,
But see, he's a dick. Like, that's what I'm saying, though.
But
like, he is just a dick. Like, how do you help someone?
What if he's not aware of it,
Well, that's...
Because we don't bring it up to him. We're not like, hey, dude. Well, sometimes we...
Well, no, like, if you all had been like, all right, dude, like, you just don't come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be a red flag. And then, he's definitely not aware. And at that point, I don't know how much you can fix someone like that. Other than they need to go to counseling, they need some maybe like mental help, maybe, I'm not gonna...
They need some TLC.
TLC, big TLC. No, I'm not gonna talk about...
These two guys need some TLC.
They do. And I just think it's a little bit scary because if he does get angry, actually angry, and that turns into abuse, like, that can turn bad pretty quickly if you think about it. You're like, oh, well, you can't be rude to me. Like, who are you to be a bitch to me? But I can talk down to you however I want, whenever I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's so narcissistic, self-centered, in my opinion, and that can turn into, like, actual violence, I would think. Literally, like, axe murder. Like, oh, well, you know, he called me a bitch, and, I mean, no one talks to me like that, so I killed him, sort of thing. Like, it's dark.
It's pretty bad.
But imagine, you're trying to get me arrested on this podcast. But yeah, at that point, a girl, he needs a counselor. I don't think he
called me a bitch, so she had to go.
That's the vibes that I get from this. And I just think
Oops.
that he needs legit mental help or counseling. Again, I'm not going to, like, speak specifically on mental health. I'm not an expert on mental health, but
not even
if he's
a hobbyist on mental health.
No, if he's, like, somewhat of, like, maybe an autistic or something, he might have, like, a condition or something like that he's dealing with that he has not been diagnosed with. That deserves some attention, some checking out, and I feel like that's how you can help someone like that the most. Get them actual help. You know, like, find a counselor, sign up for, what is it called, like, BetterHelp, like, virtual help, or, like, an actual diagnosis, like, go to a doctor, like, see what is up, because once it's affecting your work life and your personal life, that's when it's, like, serious. You know, if it's just, like, friends, you're like, oh, well, you're losing friends because you're a dick. You know, that's, like, I feel like that's normal. Maybe you're going through, like, a hard time and you're just you're not in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when it's affecting your work life, big deal. And so those are my thoughts on this situation in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you all think. Let me know. But yeah, still seems like crazy to me.
Yeah.
Would you like to add anything to that? I was going to call you Mr. D.
That's my dad.
Mr. D, Big D,
yeah.
Mr. D. And Big G. Big D and Big G.
Big G.
In the house. In the house. Alright. Okay, guys, so...
never invite me back here again.
I will invite you back here, and you will be here every single time.
Yes,
but just
thank you.
But just don't be a dick to me, because I don't deserve that, but I'm going to be a dick to you every single time.
Whoa. Wait.
You heard me.
I'm shocked by this. I'm going to gain weight, and I'm going to have to study for
Don't you dare talk to me like that. I'm going to go get my pointy axe.
Pointy, not sharp, just pointy?
Just pointy. I'm going to get a pointy axe and aim it
I think that's called
at your
sword.
face. Pointy axe. I'm going to aim it at your face if you talk to me like that ever again.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not aware of what I'm doing right now. I'm not aware of how mean I'm being right now and how threatening I am.
Okay. Well,
In fact, you might fire me, but, like, I just don't, I don't know.
Well, you know what? I'm going to leave you for the sexy guy at the hospital.
Okay. I've seen him too. He's hot.
Yeah. She
nice
should have posted a
biceps.
pic, right? It's probably...
We all would have agreed then.
Yeah, that would have changed our mind.
We all would have agreed.
Hot Johnny.
Damn, you know
Wait,
what?
you didn't
He's
tell me
blonde.
you didn't tell me it was Hot Johnny.
Hot Johnny's in the hospital. He's got big biceps. He got triceps. He got glutes. Thick glutes.
He got abs.
He got abs. He got
Tree
the
trunk
blonde
legs.
hair, tree trunk legs. I mean, this guy's bangable.
Yeah.
That would have been a totally different conversation. That would have been a 2-minute podcast.
And he helps the starving children. Oh my god.
Oh, wow. Like, wow. He's a surgeon too? Oh my god, he's a surgeon. Whoa. Ooh. And he's making billions? Yeah, dude, leave the other guy.
JK.
No, I'm not kidding, but, you know, for the sake of the podcast, I'm kidding. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. It's been a pleasure, Big D. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. We're
glad to
shaking
have you
hands,
on.
man.
We're shaking hands. Glad to have you on, and I'm happy to have you on again. If you'd like to join me.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, just, you know my number. You got it. Just call me.
I'll call you, beep you when I want to reach you.
Yep, yeah. I do got to travel across the world to come here. But, you know, it's worth it every time. Yeah.
I mean, it's me, Big G. Like,
yeah,
who else are you going to come
that's
meet over here?
Only for you.
Of course. So, on that note, thank you so much, guys, for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you can chill with me with the next hot topic in our next podcast. So, thank you so much, and have a fabulous day.